It's extremely complicated. There is no simple answer. If you ask me, should an adult be able to decide if they live or die, then my gut reaction is, well, we're a free person in a free country. We should have the right to end our life if we're that unhappy. But then on the flip side to that, we have to look at, well, most of it will be mental health. So why are we allowing someone to make such a decision when the issue is their hers was poor mental health.
Yeah.
She wasn't injured in this attack. What she saw damaged her, and she wanted to end her suffering. So I really don't know. I think my worry for this is not the sane individual who decides they want to end their life, or the person with terminal cancer who's going through hell and he's just waiting to die. That's not the problem. My problem is what comes after this. If we give the state and other people, family members, power and influence over us to persuade us to end our life, that's a dark, slippery road. How many children of 80-year-olds will be saying to them, Mum, Dad, you're a hindrance to me now, Mum. You're affecting my life, you're affecting our grandchildren's lives and our great-grandchildren's lives because you're nothing but an issue now. And the money you've got could be spent better once you're... So the pressure you can put on people to end their life would be considerable. So where would the safeguarding be involved with this? Now, I'm also realising as I'm talking that I'm also a hypocrite, because I'm quite happy for the state to execute criminals, certain criminals. My argument for that would be they've broken the law. They've crossed a line that a decent society should not tolerate. Now, as I'm saying it, the hypocrisy is just pouring out of my mouth here. So it's one of those situations that's really hard to A, understand, B, to look into the future about how it will be used. And then you can tie abortion into this as well. In this country now, we execute babies in the womb who are innocent, who haven't damaged anybody or committed a crime. So we're doing that state execution as well. This is a big mess. I would need several weeks, several months pondering this and thinking about it and researching it and reading about it before I would put a stamp of this is what I think and I believe.
And I think you're right. These issues, and you're right, you are a hypocrite, because on the one hand you're happy for people to be put to death if they have committed a crime, or if actually we were certain they had committed that crime, which, because that's happened before as well. On the other hand, you are very pro-life in terms of abortion, and in this situation you're not quite sure, so you're crossing a number of lines there. I think the hypocrisy for me, and just coming back to the point we were talking about, what I'm really annoyed about again with this, and the fact that Labour are supporting it, and Keir Starmer and lots of what we call the progressives are supporting this as well, is where the hell were they when COVID was happening and lockdowns were happening and they were talking about, let's save Granny's life? Because this is the complete opposite of this, isn't it? This is, let's not save Granny's life, let's put Granny to death because she's a burden on society, basically, or a burden on her family or whatever. So these people who are so obsessed with putting us into lockdown, curtailing our lives, curtailing children's school lives, all the damage that did to society on the basis that they were saving Granny's life, are now quite happy to put Granny and Grandad to death as a result of this legislation. So your hypocrisy is mild, their hypocrisy stinks to me. The same people who supported the lockdowns and that horrific time we went through are just as breezily now supporting the euthanasia side of things. I also think you're correct. It's about, nothing exists in a vacuum, does it? So the idea of assisted dying occurring in the correct way, in the correct manner, sounds fine. The reality is it's never that simple, because people have agendas, don't they? And
Yeah.
certainly around old people and money and inheritances, that's a massive issue for people. So the idea that it could be abused, I think, is really very, very clear for all sorts of reasons.
The fact it can be abused is 100%.
Yes.
Because humans will abuse anything we can to a certain extent. Laws, we push the limits. We have sports cheats. We have people who commit fraud. We have people who break the law. So some humans will misuse this act if we had it for that. Another thing, there's two other things. First of all, we'd have to look at doctors. Doctors have the Hippocratic Oath, which says, do no harm. That breaks the Hippocratic Oath straight away. How can you euthanize somebody? Same with abortion. How can you kill somebody in the womb and say, done no harm? So we're messing with what doctors should be doing. And the other thing is, who deems who's worthless or useful in society? Because my list will be different from your list. Our list will be different from Keir Starmer's list. Their list will be different from whoever's in charge of the country in 20 years from now. So we need to be careful that we don't set a precedent that other people can start deeming other humans less valuable, because we know where that ends.
Yes.
Because we've been here before with the Holocaust in Germany, with Rwanda, with lots of things. Once you can start actually pointing to people going, they're worth less than me, then you dehumanize them and you make them not human, and humans kill animals very easily. And once we say, you're not human, or you're not as much of a human as me, this will go down a very dark path.
Yeah. And once again, it's about the over-legislation of society and life, isn't it? Because you made the point, you believe in freedom and people have the right to kill themselves. I know they don't technically, it's illegal, but actually there's a big difference in somebody committing suicide, as they choose to do whatever they might, versus an actual formal process where the killing of somebody is a legal right, if you like. I think that's the difference between the suicide thing. Because if somebody wants to kill themselves, they're going to kill themselves at the end of the day. They have the ability to do that.
Yeah.
But that's...
Most people fail committing suicide. Seriously, attempted suicide to actually killing yourself is something like 7 or 8 to 1.
Really? Is that because the people who are attempting don't really want to do it?
Some people will be crying out for help.
Yeah.
Other people just be incompetent. Other people may change their mind. Other people don't realise how tough we are trying to kill yourself. There's many reasons. But something like only 16% of all suicide attempts end in death.
Really? I didn't know that statistic. Thank you. So just to finish that then, how would you vote at this moment in time? If that was a vote you had to...
I'd vote no.
Vote no.
Not because I don't think we should, under certain circumstances with certain people. It's because we would need to have this discussion for many years in society, and this isn't one. Most things you can make a law about and you can change things very quickly if you wanted to, and it might go wrong, but then you can correct it. This is one of those things as a society we would need to think about and talk about for years before we make a decision on this. If you like that video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell and comment. And if you like what I'm saying about running for Mayor of Greater Manchester, then stick around. Tell your family, tell your friends. The only way I'm going to have a chance of winning is a grassroots movement. So be part of that movement and hit that bell. Thanks.